All right, we're back here once again. Hopefully, if your brother screen jumps or anything of the sort, and that connection keeps going in and out, saying the principle of the air. So now, let's look at an actual video of grafting of grafting of a tree. See how everything that was mentioned, see if it has anything to do with the actual act.
Good morning, I'm Tom Spellman with Dave Wilson Nursery. It's a beautiful morning in early February here in the Central Valley. I'm at one of the nursery's test blocks this morning. A lot of different varieties.
By the way, this is the video and page name in case you would go and look it up.
In this row. One of them is this tree right here. It's goldmine nectarine.
Stop. The tree is a goldmine nectarine tree. Keep that in mind. It's a nectarine tree.
Goldmine's never really been one of my favorite varieties. It has some problems. The fruit doesn't always ripen up real well. Quality's questionable from year to year. So this is a perfect example of what we can do with top working. We're going to take this tree, which is one goldmine nectarine, and we're going to graft 3 other varieties onto this tree to make it a triple grafted combination. It's a good idea to clean your tools with a little alcohol before you get started, just so that you're not spreading any viruses or diseases. First thing I'm going to do is prep the tree. We're going to take most of the growth off it, but leave a nurse branch. On this nurse branch, I'm going to take most of the growth off. Just going to leave enough on to keep the system of the tree active, to keep the nutrients flowing through the system, so that when it breaks dormancy, it has something to start to push from. Okay, I've got the tree all prepped. Cuts are nice and smooth and clean. I've got my knife all sharpened up. I'm going to wipe it down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol just to make sure that it's nice and clean. I've got some budwood cut for 3 different white nectarine varieties.
Rewind that.
I've got some budwood cut for 3 different white nectarine varieties.
Notice how he's using a budwood cut, a branch, but you're going to get into that. But he's using the varieties of nectarine. Why? Because the tree itself is nectarine. In case you didn't hear, you forgot, let's go back.
One of them is this tree right here. It's goldmine nectarine. It's nice and clean. I've got some budwood cut for 3 different white nectarine varieties.
So he's using a nectarine tree and a nectarine branch, and he's going to graft it together.
I'm going to put Snow Queen, some Arctic Star, and some Arctic Jay. So we're going to convert this over into a successive ripening combination. All 3 varieties are just delicious. The procedure that we're going to use today is called a bark graft. And what we're going to do is make an incision just through the bark about
There's many different types of grafting.
1.5 inches or 2 inches long, pull out a flap in the bark, and then make a single back cut on our scion stick and insert that down into the flap. With a bark graft, you can graft into any size wood that you want. So I can use a small 3/8 or 1/4 inch scion, and I can graft that into a 3-inch or
keep that word in mind, scion,
6-inch or whatever caliper wood that I want to go into. So here we go. That worked nice and clean. It's really important to use one good pull, make a nice smooth single cut. You're not carving a toy boat. You don't want to whittle on this wood.
Now I'm going to rewind it now.
It's really important to use one 3-inch or 6-inch or whatever caliper wood that I want to go into. So here we go. Bark graft, you can graft into any size wood that you want. So I can use a small 3/8 or 1/4 inch scion.
Scion, let's look that up. Grafting. It says, in most cases, you know what, before I go to that, I want to get to the Greek now. I almost can't forget that. The word graft in the Greek is egkentrizo. See?
Strong's G 1461. Egkentrizo. Enkentrizzo.
And it says, to cut into for the sake of inserting a scion, to inoculate, engraft, graft in. So the word graft in the Greek is enkentrizo, which means to cut into for the sake of inserting a scion. Notice that was the exact word that this man just used.
Into any size wood that you want. So I can use a small 3/8 or 1/4 inch scion, and
Scion. Let's see what Wikipedia says about scion. In most cases, one plant is selected for its roots and is called the stock or rootstock. So what would the root stock or rootstock be? This tree here. That would be the stock or the rootstock, as you can see right here. You'll see it later on. This would be the stock or the rootstock. Acts 11 and Acts 13 and 26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth the Most High, to you is the word of this salvation sent. The word stock in the Greek is what? Let's see.
Strong's G 1085. Genos. Genos.
Genos or genos. Gene, what? Somebody's in your family, right? Kindred, offspring, family, stock, tribe, nation, nationality, or descent from a particular people, the aggregate of many individuals of the same nature, kind, or sort. So, when engrafting, in most cases, engrafting, one plant is selected for its roots and it's called the stock or the rootstock. So one plant is selected for its root and it's called the stock or the rootstock. That's the stock or the rootstock here, as you were just shown in Acts 13:26. The Lord says what? The stock of Abraham, which the word stock is genos. Now keep that in mind, genos, which is what? Gene, right? In most cases, one plant is selected for its roots, and this is called the stock or rootstock. The other plant is selected for its stems, leaves, flowers, or fruits, which fruits, flowers, and leaves grow in stems or branches, so therefore I'm going to say branches. The other plant is selected for the branches, and is called the scion, the scion or scion. As he just said, let's go back once again.
into any size wood that you want. So I can use a small 3/8 or 1/4 inch scion, and I
See, he said scion. The scion or scion contains the desired genes, genos, to be duplicated in the future production by the stock /scion plant. Let's look at the definition of scion. This is dictionary.com. Scion, a descendant. Also, scion, a descendant. Also, scion, a shoot or twig, especially one cut for grafting or planting and cutting. Child, issue, offshoot, progeny. Royal English Dictionary, a descendant, an heir, a young member of a family. A shoot or twig of a plant used to form a graft. Let's look at the word heir. You saw the word descendant as well. The word scion means a descendant. If someone's your descendant, they got to be of your genealogical line, correct? So a gook can't be my descendant because he ain't in my genealogical line. He's not in my bloodline. He's not in my seed line. He's not in my family. If my child,
how do you
bullshit popping up, a person who inherits a heir, a person who inherits or has a right of inheritance in the property of an owner fulfilling the latter's death. So a person who inherits. See if I can find the definition here. Well, that's the main point. It says the person legally succeeding to all property of the deceased person, so on and so forth. So if I have a son, right, my son will be the heir to the throne, meaning my son will be next to sit on the throne. A gook can't be the heir to the throne because a gook is not in my seed line, my genealogical line, my bloodline. So in order for somebody to be your scion, which means an heir or descendant, they have to be of your same genealogical line. That's why it says the scion possesses the desired genes. That's why the word stock in the Greek is genos, which means family, tribe, nation, or clan. You see how it's all related now. The stock will have to be who? Israel, because the wild olive tree represents Israel, right? You understand in grafting, the olive tree represents Israel. So if the olive tree represents Israel and the branches fell off the tree, but the branches are being grafted back in, I mean the branches got to be Israel as well. An apple tree branch don't fall off and the fucking branch becomes a damn pear branch. If an apple tree branch fall off,